Good morning everyone, welcome to this little what I eat in a day, such a requested video that I'm super excited that I'm finally filming. I just wanted to start by saying that I'm not a nutritionist, but I eat what feels really good for my body. Everyone's different, so different foods might suit you better. I eat completely intuitively. I'm also plant-based. I eat healthily, but I also eat in balance. So I hope you enjoy. As you saw this morning, I already had a herbal tea, which was mugwort, yarrow, mint, sage and white tea. And I've just poured myself a little chicory and medicinal mushroom coffee tea thing. It's one of my favourite drinks. It's super delicious and earthy. And now I'm making my breakfast. Every day I start my day with some kind of fruit. Today I'm starting with an orange. It just makes me feel really good and I love oranges so much. So to start with for breakfast, I'm making a little dip to go on some toast. So I'm just boiling some spinach, and here are some frozen butter beans, alfalfa, olive oil, salt, pepper, chili, tahini, lemon juice. And that's just the spirulina and alfalfa that I use, so it's going to be like a nice green hummusy kind of dip. I'm also putting some fennel in that I foraged the other day. Here is my homemade rye bread. This one has added hemp and seeds in for some extra protein and nutrition. I'll link the little recipe video for this down below. It's super delicious, super filling, and I eat it every single day. Here is my finished breakfast. I added some nuts and seeds, bee pollen, sauerkraut, chili and Celtic salt. Now I'm going to sit and enjoy this in the garden. I thought I would just show you what I added to my toast. This is the bee pollen, the Celtic salt, the sauerkraut and the chili flakes that I use. These chili flakes are the best because they're actually really spicy. I was going to eat lunch first, but I have made chocolate cake instead. And basically I made a 2-layer cake but no icing, and I chopped it up and froze it all. So I literally just take a couple of slices out and pop it in the toaster, and I just whipped up a little sauce for it. My mouth is watering, with tahini, honey and cocoa powder. So that is the kind of icing that I've made for it. I'm so excited. This is my favorite cake. It's so good. So I'm eating this on the grass in my garden. Listen to this. I'm just going for a walk. Otis wants a stick, but I am drinking a little matcha. I found some chicken of the woods. I can't wait to eat this. I'm not sure if it's going to be today because I love eating it with pasta or noodles, and I don't have either, but we shall see. I am picking some blackberries to go in a little immunity syrup that I'm making for the winter. Here is my gorgeous fairy lunch. I boiled some quinoa with broccoli in and added cumin, coriander, turmeric, fenugreek, ginger, garlic. I think that's it. Obviously salt and pepper as well. I roasted butternut squash in some nice herby oil. I've covered it in raw rainbow beetroot, red onion, flowers from my garden. There's sauerkraut and there's some dip that I made this morning, some lemon, and also some floral salts, which I made last year. I think that's everything. Oh, and some chili, always, and olive oil. But yeah, I'm so excited. This is honestly so delicious, and it's such a gloomy day today, and this just feels like I'm eating sunshine. I love meals filled with colour, and I love eating flowers. It makes my eyes, my soul, my heart and my body just so happy, and it's just really brought some sunshine to my day and I feel like a fairy. Now I'm having a little foraged mugwort and yarrow tea, and I'm also going to put one of these tea bags in it. I got it in Poland this time last year, and this is sea buckthorn, peppermint and orange. They're super delicious. Hello, so I'm just sitting in my garden with my cold cup of tea, and I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked me, food related questions on TikTok and on Instagram. I've written them down in my little YouTube notepad because I'm filming on my phone, so let's answer them. The first question is, what is your favourite plant to eat? That is literally the hardest question ever, and I don't actually think I could answer that. The first thing that comes into mind is potatoes. But I mean, I wouldn't want to have potatoes without some olive oil or some sauerkraut, or like, there's so many things. Also, there's so many different categories. Like, there's favourite to tea herbs, favourite herbs to cook with. There's just, the options are pretty endless. Which vegetables, which fruits, like, that is just, it's really difficult, and it would depend on the day, depend on the season, depend on the mood. So I'm really sorry, but I can't answer that one. But I'll tell you the first things that come into mind. Potatoes, broccoli, peaches, olives, mushrooms. Technically they're not really a plant, but oranges. I'm just gonna stop there. There's way too many for me to even think of. Also, flowers. Edible flowers just make me so happy. They definitely are the plant that I eat that makes my soul and eyes the happiest. How to heal your relationship with food and your body. This is a journey, and I think a lot of people, if not most people, go through this journey at some point. And I'm so grateful that I'm finally have a really great relationship with food and with my body. Finally loving myself completely. And it was a real journey to get there. I think there's always a deeper issue on why there are food and body issues. Maybe it's how you were brought up. Maybe there was like a event that happened. For me, that was the case. My relationship with food and my body went really, really downhill when I lost my nan, and it was kind of a coping mechanism. Like, I don't know, it was just, I was destroying myself even more than I was from losing my nan. So yeah, I think there's always a real deeper issue, so it's important to probably find that first. But once you've figured that out, just need to realise that food is fuel, food is energy. We need energy to have our own energy and to live. It's so important. We can live such a happy, healthy life if we are energised. We have to be grateful for everything that our bodies do, no matter the shape or the size. We are just so lucky to have such amazing bodies that are capable of so much. So have gratitude for your body and what it can do for you. Have gratitude for all of the beautiful foods that are available to us. Make the most of it. That's what I do. Eating fresh foods, growing your own foods, like things like that can really inspire you to have a better relationship with food. Like growing your own foods, turning plant-based actually really, really helped me with my relationship with food, because I felt a little guilt. I mean, I've pretty much always been vegetarian, but I had some guilt around eating animal products as well. So actually turning plant-based personally really helped me. I think I was born to be plant-based though. Not everyone is. This is just my personal experience. Also, for a relationship with food, get creative with it. Like, experiment in the kitchen and learn to love cooking, and then you'll find so much love for the food that you eat. But yeah, I could talk about this a lot. There is just so many ways on how you can work on your relationship with your body and with food, but definitely get to the root cause. I'm so sorry for anyone that is going through that right now. It's literally the hardest thing, and you never ever think it will end, but I promise you it does. And I never thought it was going to end, and I always thought that there was going to be that little bit of niggling in my brain, but there isn't anymore. I literally am so grateful for my body. I love my body unconditionally, and I'm so grateful for the food that I get to eat. I love cooking. I love experimenting with flavors. It really ignited my passion even more going through those struggles. So I promise you can get through it. Sorry, I hope that helped. That was a little bit rambly, but I can do a whole video on that. Do you fast? So technically everyone fasts because you fast overnight. So I do always fast for at least 12 hours. I don't believe that fasting is great for women, but I think it can definitely be helpful occasionally. I did intermittent fast for a little while, and it worked for me for that very short period of time. However, now it doesn't work for me. It can disrupt women's hormones and our menstrual cycles. I eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes that means I do fast for longer, but yeah, I try not to. Are you vegetarian or vegan? I consider myself plant-based now. I was vegetarian from a very young age, kind of when I really realised that meat came from animals, and I've always been such an animal lover. And then I went vegan over 10 years ago now. I've lost count, and now I just consider myself plant-based because I'm much more relaxed. I buy and cook meat for my dogs, I eat honey and bee pollen, I use bee products, I wear second-hand leather, and a lot of people who are vegan don't support that, but I do. I'm a lot more chill now. They aren't things that I would have used to have done. However, I do those things in a sustainable way, and I will possibly be vegan forever. I will definitely be mainly plant-based forever, and I will always be vegetarian, but I'm not going to push the idea away that if I have animals one day I might eat their products. I don't know, I might just be plant-based forever. Do you make any sauces to have as staples? Oh, how beautiful is that robin? Oh, so beautiful, literally singing to us. So the only sauce, okay, I make 2 sauces very regularly. So I always make like a hummus, but I mean, they're always different flavours depending on what I have. So sometimes it's made of chickpeas, butter beans, red lentils, split peas. I use kind of any bean or grain that I fancy. Sometimes I add vegetables, like this morning I kind of made a hummus with spinach in. Yesterday I had one with beetroot in and with red lentils. So yeah, I just always have some kind of hummusy dip at all times. Also, I very often make a pesto for pasta with just like foraged greens and greens from my garden with olive oil and nuts and nutritional yeast. I think that's it, to be honest. And often I make a tomato sauce as well, just by blending fresh raw tomatoes, red onion, garlic, olive oil, balsamic, salt and pepper, fresh herbs, but that's pretty much it. Do you recommend eating probiotic / fermented food every day / every week? So I try to eat it every day. It makes me feel amazing. Fermented foods, I eat sauerkraut mainly, but I also drink kombucha, and I also make my own fermented drinks, like elderflower champagne. It makes me feel really good. It's really great for your gut health. It's also great for digestion. So yeah, I would recommend eating it regularly. You don't have to every day, definitely weekly is probably good enough. I sometimes eat it every meal, like I have today so far. It just makes me feel really good, and I do think it's great for you. What are the best plants to reduce anxiety and stress? So I have 3 that come into mind straight away that really work for me, so I'm just going to tell you about those. First of all, we have magnolia. My magnolia tree is just here, so beautiful. And actually the flowers or the bark you can use as anxiety, depression or stress relief. And a lot of people don't realise this, but I can't even tell you how much it helps. Basically there is a compound like diazepam in the bark of the magnolia tree, so if you need help with sleeping also, it completely sends you to sleep. I don't think it's something that you should have too often, but when you're really feeling like you need something, I would really recommend magnolia flowers or bark. I have them dried in my cupboard. You can probably buy tinctures online, but recommend that. The next one is lemon balm. A lot of people know this one. It's great for stress, anxiety, also for sleep. Also lavender. I just love lavender. Even just the scent of lavender is great for reducing anxiety and stress. So you could pop some essential oil on an oil burner in your bath, and it should really help. You can also drink it as tea or simmer it in some milk and have like a little lavender latte. So delicious. My mouth is watering just thinking about that. How do you use nettles and how do you pick them without getting stung? So I use them in so many different ways. In the spring, I use their leaves a lot for soup. You can fry the leaves on their own and they turn into little crisps. Sometimes I juice them. The sting goes away if you blend or juice or even just flash heat nettles, so you don't need to worry about that. What else do? I dry the leaves and grind them up and have nettle lattes. At the moment, now they're seeding, I save the seeds and just sprinkle them on everything. The possibilities are literally endless with nettles. What else do? I just pop the leaves in like quinoa and stuff. And how to pick them without getting stung. So there are certain ways that you can pick them. Like if you just grab a leaf like this, it won't actually sting you. And you can even like pinch the stem and pick it and it won't sting you, but I mean, I can't promise you it's 100% every time. So if you're not looking to get stung, just wear like rubber tipped gloves. I just get stung, to be honest. I always pick just with my hands. Sometimes I don't get stung at all and sometimes I really get stung. Oh, lastly is food book recommendations. I didn't bring them out with me, so I will show you these ones indoors. I have a couple, so yeah. I've come in and I've realised that I haven't actually read that many foodie books. However, I think my favourite is probably this one, Harmonic Healing by Dr. Linda Lancaster. It has so many amazing recipes in. It's a great book if you want to get into a healthier lifestyle and healthier diet. Even if you think you're already healthy, it has loads of other tips in. It's not just for plant-based people, it's for anyone. It's really amazing, and it also has some kind of cleanses that you can follow in there. Another one, I love this, The Vegan Book of Permaculture. This one is about gardening and foraging. It also has some lovely recipes in, plant-based ones only though. This is my favourite foraging book, The Forager's Calendar. It's the best one that I've found so far until mine comes out. This one is amazing. It's about a lady, Monica Wilde, love her, that only eats foraged food for an entire year. It's super interesting if you're interested in foraging. This one's good if you're interested in Ayurveda, and the rest I am kind of waiting to read. I've read some of these other ones, but they're not specifically about food. But I hope that helped. Honestly, I never ever have dinners like this. It's kind of a girl dinner. However, today I started eating really late. I had my breakfast at like 11 or half 11, which never happens. I was just too caught up in doing things this morning. So I'm not majorly hungry for dinner. It's like 7:30 now. So I've got 2 jacket potatoes with olive oil, Celtic salt, pepper and cayenne. I have a big cut up raw carrot, 3 dried apricots and an apple chopped up that I picked the other day. So this is very random. It's what I fancied. Well, what I actually fancied tonight was a big bag of crisps and hummus. However, I do not have a car right this second, and all of the shops would probably be shut by the time I walk to them. So this is what I'm gonna deal with, and I'm actually loving it. So that's my dinner. Every time I have jacket potatoes, this happens, but I'm just having another one because it'll be so rude not to. And they're literally so good. I always forget how good they are until I have them, and then I need loads. I'm ending my day with a lovely tea in the bath. I have sage and mint from my garden, yarrow and mugwort that I foraged, and some ginger.